Edderkop, edderkop, svinger rundt som en edderkop. Du skal ikke grine bagved. Hej, jeg er lige svinget forbi en nordisk film, og det har jeg, fordi at jeg har fået kigget på det kommende PlayStation 4-titel, Marvels Spider-Man. Et spil, som jeg ser meget frem til, fordi jeg er faktisk lidt af en Spider-Man-fan, der har været siden jeg har været lille knægt. Og jeg har fået prøvet de 2 første timer, og spillet er sindssygt fedt egentlig. Altså, vi kritiserede lidt kampsystemet, da vi prøvede det til E3, men det er i hvert fald blevet forbedret en del. Dog har jeg også fået lidt mere indblik i, hvordan historien kommer til at foregå i det kommende Spider-Man-spil, men det vil jeg så dog ikke komme i dybere detaljer med, fordi jeg vil helst undgå at spoile det for jer. Men til gengæld så vil vores kære Ryan Schneider fortælle lidt omkring, hvordan spillet kommer til at foregå og hvad det handler om.
So the story in Marvel's Spider-Man is a truly unique one, and that's something that we at Insomniac Games are very proud to be able to contribute to the Marvel universe in this way. It's a different kind of coming of age journey in a way, because most people think of a coming of age story for Spider-Man as where he's 15 years old, he's been bit by the spider, he's in high school, he's learning how to be Spider-Man. That is not what's happening in our version of Spider-Man for PlayStation 4. What's happening is that Peter Parker is graduating from college. He thinks he can change the world as a scientist, and he's questioning which path he wants to take in life. Like, is he going to continue to be the superhero that saves New York City, or is he going to save the world through science? I think it's a story that's very relatable for people, especially younger folks who have gone on that journey, or anybody who's gone on that journey. And we hope people enjoy playing this truly unique experience.
Et af de ting, som jeg lagde mærke til, var, at spillet er meget nemt at hive op og spille, men samtidig også er det et cinematisk eventyr, og det har en fed mellemvej, og det var faktisk også folkene hos Insomniac Games hensigt, da de lavede det her spil jo. Og det kan du også høre lidt mere om, hvorfor.
Well, I think for those people who've played Insomniac Games experiences in the past, that's a hallmark of what we try to do, is we want to create an accessible experience that invites players into our world, and then we layer the complexity into it, the richness of the world, and it becomes more challenging as you progress through it. So I'm glad that you experienced that, and that is definitely a design intent.
Fansenes reaktion lige fra den første trailer til gameplay til det her års E3 og cosplay rundt omkring San Diego Comic-Con har været enorm. Og hvordan Ryan har reageret, kan du høre om lige her.
The feedback's been phenomenal. We're constantly pinching ourselves because we feel like the feedback for the Spider-Man experience overall that we're trying to create has been extremely well received and very well accepted, and we're very happy because we wanted to create something that stood alone and was different from other Spider-Man experiences that have been created in the past. I got off the plane for the first part of the tour in Amsterdam, and I wasn't going to have a lot in common with the driver, and we got to talking, and he asked why I was here. And to be able to talk about Spider-Man and have an instant connection with somebody that I've never met before, and then just replicate that experience all over the place, all around the world, at all the events we do. I'm hearing from all of our developer representatives who are speaking on behalf of the game throughout the world right now. They're experiencing the same thing, just the joy on people's faces when we talk about Spider-Man and how happy they are that we're doing their beloved universe justice. I mean, he's had so many suits over the years, and to be able to reach deep into Marvel lore to pick and choose which suits we'd like to include, and more important even, is add our own unique take on suits in the game. You have to start with our advanced suit with the white spider on it. Definitely, I feel like the public has embraced it, even if it was controversial at first because it was so different. And we had so much fun. And one of the artists who has the particular responsibility for bringing those suits to life is Gavin Goulden, and he just rubs his hands together and gets like this such a maniacally happy grin on his face when he gets to work on something new like that.
Ja, kostymer er meget vigtige, og da vi sad og spillede spillet, så fik vi faktisk også unlocket et par af dem, hvilket gav nogle ret nye evner, som for eksempel nogle kostymet, som der gør, at fjenderne ikke længere kan tilkalde forstærkninger, når du angriber dem. Men du kan heldigvis skifte rundt mellem evnerne, så hvis du vil med en evne, men du er ikke særlig vild med kostymet, jamen så skift rundt med dem. Udover nogle gamle og nye forskellige kostymer, så er der selvfølgelig også gamle og nye fjender, som der er introduceret i løbet af det her spil jo. Og det har jo så betydet, at Insomniac Games har arbejdet meget tæt med Marvel. Og hvordan den oplevelse har været, kan du også høre fra Ryan.
First, I'll briefly say, collaborating with Marvel Games and Sony has been terrific. Marvel, their offices are like a 15-minute drive from our studios in Burbank, so they're there all the time. We meet with them all the time. To have the opportunity to work with people like Bill Roseman, the creative director at Marvel Games, and his fantastic team, it's been super educational, super inspirational. It gives us the ability to offer a fresh take on a lot of the classic characters that we've come to know over the years. So you look at Norman Osborn and how he's the mayor of New York City, or we take somebody who is a relative newcomer to comics in Mr. Negative and show his human side as well as Martin Lee in the game, and a different take on MJ and a different version of Peter, and much more that we're gonna let players experience for themselves. Like, it was a very joyous and deliberate and thoughtful journey that we went on with Marvel Games and Sony.
New York er en meget stor by, og det har jo selvfølgelig krævet stort arbejde at genskabe det til en meget minimal, men interessant form i selve Spider-Man-spillet. Og udover at man selvfølgelig kigger sådan på New York og tænker, hvordan er det at svinge rundt, så tillader jeg mig også lige at spørge, altså, er det noget, som Ryan sådan tænker generelt, for eksempel her i København, hvor han er på besøg her? Og utroligt nok, han har faktisk tænkt det samme.
Every city is a Spider-Man friendly city. I know what you mean though. You mean if Spidey could swing through. You know, it's a common thought I think that everybody has, and since working on Spider-Man and being a part of it since the beginning at Insomniac, I literally find myself looking up everywhere I travel and be like, how would I get to that point if I were Spidey? And especially if I'm stuck in traffic, that's all I want, is to be able to web swing from building to building. And I will say that I pay special attention now to cranes and scaffolding, and think of all the interesting ways I could get from place to place. I got off a train at Penn Station, which exits right near Madison Square Garden, which you have seen in the game, or a building very similarly designed to Madison Square Garden. And just to be able to instantly get my bearings based on knowing, okay, Times Square is going to be roughly over here, Bryant Park's going to be over here, and I know that because I've played the heck out of our game. And to be able to get around realistically in New York based on the map in our game was just such a bizarre and surreal feeling. This city is huge. It's exponentially larger than Sunset City and Sunset Overdrive on Xbox One. So there's a lot to do, and we've paid special attention to building out the city just as we did with Traversal from the very beginning. Like, you need, on one hand, you have like Traversal, which is really important. Then you have to build out a place that's so desirable to go to that you want to deploy all of your traversal skills, and that's what we've tried to do in creating an idealized version of New York City. Yeah, and that's the difference between creating your own original IP and then working closely and collaborating with Marvel Games and Sony on honoring an existing universe. So I think both have their merits, and you know, the best part of working on Marvel Spider-Man was that collaboration with Marvel Games and Sony, where we could say, hey, we want to respect everything that's come before us, but we also want to offer our own unique interpretation, and that allowed us to really flex our creative muscles that we've, gleaned from years of developing our own games.
Det var selvfølgelig mit indtryk af Spider-Man, som der kommer til PlayStation 4 her i september måned. Jeg glæder mig meget til det her spil, men nu er det jo ikke det fulde spil, som jeg har siddet med, så det er jo kun bare en førstehåndsindtryk jo. Men når det fulde spil udkommer, så vil der komme en fin anmeldelse op på Pixel TV-siden, så hold endelig øje med den. Men det var alt for denne her gang. Jeg håber, I kunne lide videoen. Husk at like det og skrive en dejlig kommentar om, hvad du synes om spillet. Hvad er din favorit Spider-Man-kostyme? Det vil jeg faktisk gerne vide. Og så endelig have en awesome dag.